Everyone, can you see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So I think as part of yesterday, so we started working with, right, equals method, I think. Am I right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Right. So no. Yeah. So as part of yesterday class, I think I have written how to override equals method in our child class for content comparison. Right. If you are not overriding equals method, then which class equals method will be invoked always? Object class equals method will be invoked. So how the object class equals method has been implemented for reference comparison, right? It's not for content comparison,
Content
but it
comparison.
is always recommended to override equals method for what, guys? Content
Content
comparison,
comparison.
right? So what are the classes, predefined classes, or has already been implemented this equals method for content comparison? What are the classes? String class, okay? All the wrapper classes, right? So now these classes already implemented this what do you call equals method for content comparison. Okay,
Yes, sir.
come on guys. Now right. So now what is the prototype of equals method, guys? Come on, tell me. Public boolean
Boolean
E-
equals
equals
object
object
obj.
of object obj.
obj. This is the prototype of what? Equals method,
Equals method.
right? So now here boolean, right? Right, guys. So now so now let's assume, I think yesterday already we implemented, right? In student class equals method we implemented for content comparison, right?
Sir.
Yesterday we
Yes, yes, sir.
implemented this equals method in our student class for content
Content
comparison.
comparison.
Okay, content comparison means, so if you pass two objects, so what is the use of equals method? What is the use of equals method? Why we need to use for equals method? We can use
Ye-
equals method to check what? Equality of two objects,
Two
right?
objects.
In order to check the equality of two objects, we will go with what? Equals method, right? So in that, so now I want to use equals method for what? Content comparison, right? Instead reference address reference comparison. So I want to use equals method for what? Content comparison. So that we have to override equals method in our child class, okay, for content comparison, right? So content comparison means what? Let's suppose we have two student objects and I want to compare these two student objects. Okay. So now if you use this equals method for content comparison means in student class we have to override this equals method and we have to provide implementation for okay content comparison. Okay. Now student one I have and student two I have. Content means what, guys? Data of the object, content of the object, right? So now if these two objects having same data means it should return true. If these two objects have different data means it return false, right? Like that we have to implement this equals method for content comparison. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. No. So whenever we are overriding equals method, right? Equals method in our child class, okay, we need to focus on below things. Okay, what are those? First of all, so we need to know the below things or else. Okay, so what is the first one? Okay, what is the meaning of content comparison? Come on, guys. What is the meaning of content comparison?
Comparison.
Right. So this is the first one we need to
Understand.
We need to know, right? So now the next second one is what? So in order to implement the equals method for content comparison in our child classes, so we need to know first one is what, guys? So what is the meaning of, okay, content comparison? So the next one is what? If we pass different type of object, okay, if you pass different type of objects, okay, then our then our equals method should return what, guys? False. Okay, our equals method should return
False.
false, right? Instead, which exception? Class cast
Class cast
exception. Come on,
exception.
yesterday we discussed it, right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Class cast exception, right? So now that means we need to handle
Exceptions.
class cast exception, right, in our code. That is the second point. What is the third point? What we need to know? If you pass null, right? If you pass null value, okay, or else null argument. If you pass null argument, our equals method should return what?
Null pointer exception.
Should return false. What null pointer exception? Should return false, right? Instead, null pointer exception. Okay, so that means we need to handle null pointer exception. These are the points yesterday we discussed,
Yes, sir.
right? Fine. We need to handle null pointer exception in our code, right? Fine.
Yes,
Now,
yes, sir.
let me open the class what we have written yesterday, guys. There is our let me open Eclipse ID. Yeah. So now, so this is the class, right? Yesterday we wrote.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
This is the class we wrote, right? So now this is the way we can implement what, guys? Equals method for our student class. Okay, for compare what, guys? Content comparison, right? So this is the method we implemented yesterday, right? See now, if you pass different type of objects, see here, this is what ST1 is student type objects. Here Santosh is what? String type objects.
String type.
So both are same type of objects or different type of objects?
Different types of
Different
objects.
type of objects. Okay, if you are not handling class cast exception, so definitely we will see at runtime which kind of what kind of exception we will see as an output. Class cast exception we
Class
will see,
cast exception.
right? So yesterday all these things we discussed, guys. So we need to handle this class cast exception. So while handling class cast exception, what is the value I'm returning? False.
False.
How I'm handling class cast exception? By returning false. Right?
False.
Now, if you pass null as an argument, then while comparing, we will get what? Null pointer exception
Null
here.
pointer.
Here. Right? At line number 24. How to handle that null pointer exception? So we need
Returning
to catch
false.
the null pointer exception and we need to return false. Right? So, I mean, here we are handling the exception. Okay? By returning false. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, yeah. So now, so like this, we can implement, guys. Okay? Now, so now let me write simplified version of equals method implementation. Okay? Simplified version of equals method implementation. Let me write. Right. So now, see here. So this is the one version. Okay. Now instead of writing, so this is having how many? I think 30 lines of code. Okay, I have written. Okay, instead writing 30 lines of code, let me write in okay simple way. I mean few lines. Okay. So now let me write. So now here see I'm removing this I don't need. Okay. So now let me remove all these things. Okay, let me write it.
సార్ ఆ కోడ్ లాంచ్ చేసి వేరే క్లాస్ లో రాద్దాం సార్.
Why? Already yesterday I have given right this one.
ఎస్ సార్, ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేసాం సార్, అందుకే మళ్ళీ
Okay.
కన్ఫ్యూజన్ లేకుండా.
1 minute then. So if you feel, let me keep here. Let me comment this code. Okay.
ఎస్ సార్.
So now I'm writing the same method now. Tell me. Public boolean equals method.
Equals.
Okay.
Object. Yeah.
Object obj. What we are doing? We are overriding equals
Overriding
method
the
for
equals
content
method.
comparison.
ఎస్.
Now, now, see what I'm doing, So now I'm typecasting this obj into underlying object. What is the underlying object here? Student,
Student.
right? Student st is equal to student of
OBJ.
obj, right? Now, so after that, what I'm doing, right? So now, so directly I'm taking if the first, what is the first id? Student id, std id. Okay, so std id represents what, guys? Current object value, right?
ఎస్ సార్.
Yes.
std id represents what? Current object value. Current object value only will be assigned to instance variable. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
No. std id means what type? Integer type.
Integer.
How can we compare integer values? By using w is equal to operator, right? std id. Now this st means what? The object obj we are passing, right? Object.
Yes.
We are passing object like here st1 dot equals of st2. So like that only we are calling equals method, right?
ఎస్ సార్.
Yes, sir.
Right. So this st2 means what, guys? Another object.
Student.
st1 means
Yeah,
what,
subject.
guys? Current object.
అదర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్.
I'm
Yes,
trying
sir.
to compare
Object.
what? st1 object and st2 object.
st2 ఆబ్జెక్ట్.
Okay. Now this st2 will be this object obj is holding what? Which object? st2
st2.
object. That's what I'm trying to typecast this obj to what type? Student type.
Student
Because
type.
what is the underlying object
Student.
for obj? Student. So that's what I'm typecasted to student. So now this
Yes.
st is pointing to which object? st2 object. Okay. I'm converting.
Yes.
I'm typecasting into
Yes, sir.
student st, right? So now tell me st dot student id. Okay. If std id w is equal to st dot student id and short circuit operator. Next student name, std name, right? What is the student
Yes.
name here? std name. std name, right? So now std name, guys. Name. Now std name. Std name means what? String type.
String.
So now I can use equals method, right?
Dot
Because
equals. Yeah.
in string class already they implemented equals method for what? Content comparison.
Content
Dot
comparison.
equals
Okay,
of
here I
student
need to
name.
here I want to compare what? Content, right?
Student.
Yes,
I
sir.
want to compare student name, both student names. I mean, in the both objects, we have a student name. So student
Yes.
name is same or not. Okay. So that is my requirement. So that's what I can use what equals method because std name. What is the type of std name? String.
String type.
So that's what I can call what equals method. So no equals of what it is
Student
here
name.
st dot
STD name.
student name. Okay. Hmm.
We can
If
write as STD name right directly, sir. Can we write?
return true. Hmm?
Can we write STD name directly, sir? Here.
How can you write std name? If you write std name means the current object std name it will give. So you want to compare
Okay,
two
okay.
objects
Current.
data, right?
Yes, 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 yes.
Right. So no else what return false, right? Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Right. If the both objects data is same, then only we are returning what true, or
True.
else we are returning what false.
False.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, so now we need to handle what? If you pass different type of objects, we need to handle or not? We should handle, right? Let's suppose cats. What is the exception? Class cast exception. CSC.
Class
Then
cast
what?
JST.
Okay, let me
Missed.
class cast, right? Return false. Okay. Now let me take one more catch block here. This time what?
Null
Null
pointer.
pointer exception. Null pointer exception. Come on, guys. Okay. So now return what? False. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
See
Yes,
now,
sir.
right? So now here what I'm doing, guys, just I'm trying to typecast our object obj to student type. Now this st represents what, guys? The other object. Okay, here in this case st2 object, because here equals of st2. What is the argument type here? Object, right? So
Right.
that's what here I'm passing what? Child class type. We can pass either object value, object type value, or else it subclass objects also we can pass, right? So that's what here st2 I'm passing. Okay. Now I'm trying to typecast from object to which type? Student type. So now student st is pointing to which object? This st2 object. Okay. Now student id. Let's suppose in this case. So system.out.println st1 dot equals of st2. Okay. Now st1 means what?
Current object.
Current class object. By using current class, I mean with student object only we can call equals method, right? Because equals method of which class method it is? Student class method,
Student class.
right? How can you call the class methods, guys? By using object of that class, right? So that's what st1 dot equals of st2. Now st1. So what is the current class object here? st1.
ST1.
Okay. So now while creating this st1 object, this 101 will be assigned to whom? Student ID. This Vignesh will be assigned to whom?
Student name.
Student name. Already we have written constructor, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. Now see here, student ID. Student ID means which? What is the value? What is the value? Student ID 101.
101.
Right.
Yes, sir.
101. So now W is equal to st dot student ID. What is the st dot student ID?
102.
102, because st2 is the second object we are passing here. See, right?
Yes, sir.
So now
Yes, sir.
here st dot student ID means 102. Now 101 W is equal to 102. Is it true or false?
False.
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 W is equal to operator false, right? Because 101, okay, not equal to 102. Now, student name. What is the student name here? Vignesh, right? Equals of st dot student name. What is the st dot student name here?
Sai Teja.
Sai Teja,
Hi, Daga.
right? So now Vignesh is equal to Sai Teja. Both
No,
names
sir.
are same?
False.
False.
False, because equals method. Which class equals method we are calling here?
Object class.
Jet class.
Object.
Huh? Object class.
No.
That
Which class
ST.
equals method we are calling here? Arre? Here I'm calling std name dot equals, right?
Yes,
What is the
sir.
reference variable type here? std name reference variable type. String,
String
yeah.
type.
String
Yeah.
type.
String type.
So now equals method. Which class equals method we are calling now?
String class.
String class
String class equals method we are calling. In the string class equals method, how they implemented?
Content.
For the content
content
comparison, they are
comparison.
different.
Okay, so that's what here we can pass what std name holding content, some content. Okay, Vignesh, and st.std name also holding some content. What is st.std name? Sai Teja.
Sai
So
Teja.
now we are using the string class equals method. So obviously it will compare, okay, the content of both objects. In the first object it is having Vignesh. The second object it is having what? Sai Teja. Now it will compare the content of these two objects. Okay, equals method. If the content is different, so that's what it will written what? False.
False.
Okay. Now W is equal to, and I mean here short circuit operator. Already yesterday we discussed it, right? If one condition is true, then only it will
It
allow
will-
us to evaluate the second
Other
condition.
condition.
If one condition is the first condition is false, then W is equal to operator. I mean the short circuit operator doesn't allow us to evaluate what second condition.
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. Now in this case, what is the output finally? What is the if clause it will return? True or false?
False.
False.
False. False means which clause will execute?
Else. Else
Else
class.
block will
Else block.
execute. What is the value in the else block we are passing? Return
False.
false. So that's what here. What is the value? We will see. I mean in this
False.
case,
False.
false as an output. Okay. So like that, it will work. Now let me execute, guys, run as Java application, because yesterday also we discussed, right? So no need to discuss one more time. Unnecessarily we will waste time. You see, false, true, true, false, false. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, this is what another simplified version of equals
Simple
method
approach.
implementation. Okay. Now we will go with one more. Okay. Simplified version of equals method. Let me copy this one and paste in our notes. What is the one, guys? Simplified, right? Simplified
yes.
version of equals method.
Overrated equals method.
Equals method implementation. Okay. And now again we can simplify it, guys. Okay. Again we can simplify it. Okay. So now let me go with the other simplified version now. We can reduce even, okay. So these many lines of code not required. We can reduce it shorter. Okay, let me implement it. Public Boolean equals method. Object obj. Right? Now. Okay. No. Okay. So now I don't want to handle these catch exceptions and all, guys. Okay. class cast exception and null pointer exception. I don't want to handle. Okay. So instead, so because if you pass different type of objects, definitely we need to get what false as an output. Okay. Without handling this exception, so how can we handle? Let me write. Clear what I'm saying here?
Yes.
Right. So now see here I'm writing. If OB is a instance of, okay, see already we discussed all these operators, guys, right? OBJ instance of student type. Go and revise our instance of operator. Okay, if OBJ instance of student, the underlying object type is student, then only we are allowing them to enter into if block. Clear? No.
Yes, sir.
Now I'm typecasting now. Student st is equal to student of
OBJ.
OBJ. Okay. Now same. Now if what is the first one? Std id double equals to st dot
std dot
std id
stid and
and
operator
std
std
name
name equals to
dot equals of
so dot equals of
okay st dot
std
std name.
name.
Okay. Return true.
True.
Else return
False.
false. Okay. No. This is the if block. Here it closed. Okay. Now if the if block is failed, okay, if block is failed means what? The first if block here. If it is true, then it will enter into in this block, if block. If it is false means, okay, here I am returning what? Return false. That's it. I don't need to handle any class cast exception or null pointer exception. Okay, let me explain you. See now, the first step. Student st1 is equal to new student of 101 Vignesh, right? What is the second object? Student st2 new student of 102 Sai Teja. Clear?
Yes, sir.
No. Fine. Okay, guys. Now I'm trying to call what student st3 new student of 101 Vignesh. Okay, student st4 is equal to st1. Like that, I created what 4 objects. Now, what is the first sysout statement? st1 dot equals of st2, right? Now I'm calling which method? Equals method, right? What is the object? By using which object I'm calling equals method? st1. So st1 means which type? Student type.
Student type.
So which equals method will be invoked here? Student class equals method will be invoked, right? If the student class, if there is no equals method, then object class equals method will be executed, right? So now in our student class, we have already equals method implemented, overridden and implemented this equals method. Then, so in this case, which equals method will be invoked? Our student class equals
Student
method will be
class.
invoked. Now this st2, we are passing to whom? This object
OBJ.
parameter, object obj, right? Obj holding this st2 value, right? So now what I'm saying here, if obj, I mean this obj instance of student, instance of operator, okay, go and revise.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So instance of, if obj here, what is the underlying object here now? st2. st2
T2.
means which type? Student type.
Student type.
Student type.
Right? If obj instance of student, so it is, we are checking this object is student type or not. Like that we are checking. That's I mean, for that only we are using this instance operator, right?
Yes, sir.
What is the purpose of instance operator? Instance
To
operator will
check
check
the
the type of the
particular
object,
type of object.
right? The same type or not. Like that it will check. So now what is the obj, underlying obj type here? What is the underlying object it is holding this obj? Student type.
Student.
So now that's what obj instance of student. True or false?
Yes, sir. True, sir.
True. Right? So
Yes, sir.
if it is true means then only it will enter into if block.
If block.
Right? Now object, I am trying to typecast to student type because the underlying object is student, right? So we need to typecast to student because yesterday I think already we discussed. By
Yes,
using
sir.
superclass reference variable, we cannot access what? Child class data. Child class data means either child class member variables or else child class member methods. We cannot access. But by using child class reference, you can access what?
Parent class.
Superclass
Parent class.
data.
Yes, sir.
Right? Superclass data means
Superclass.
superclass functionality means superclass member variables or superclass
And
methods.
methods.
So definitely here we need to typecast to whom? Student, because by using superclass reference variable we cannot access student class data. So that's what we need to typecast to whom? The underlying object type. So what is the underlying object type here? Student, st. Okay. And now student id w is equal to st dot student id. True or false? False, because here
False.
st1 and st2
False.
both are different.
Different.
Std name equals dot st dot std name. True or false?
False.
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 Because anyway this condition will not check because this
Yes,
is short
sir.
circuit operator,
Short
right?
circuit
So
operator,
now
yes.
this if clause returns what?
False.
False. False means it won't enter into this if block. It will enter into which block? Else block,
Else block.
right? So in else block what we have written? False.
False.
So what is the output here?
False.
False. Now come to the second one. st1 equals of st3. What is the st1 object? 101 Vignesh. What is the st3 object? Same 101 Vignesh. Now I'm trying to compare these two, right? And now I'm calling this equals method. Now obj holding which object? st3 object, right? Now obj instance of student. What is the value? True or false? Obj
True.
instance of
True.
student.
True.
True, right? Underlying object also student, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
instance of operator will check whether these two objects which same type or not, right?
Yes.
True. Now obj we are converted to student type. Now stdid, what is the stdid value?
101.
101.
What is the std value?
101.
101.
101. Now w is equal to
Equal.
operator. True or false?
Yes. True, sir.
True. True means then
If
it can
it's
allow us
condition.
to evaluate the second condition. Okay, because this is short circuit operator. If first condition is true, then only it is allowing us to evaluate the second condition. Now we are coming to second condition now. What is the std name?
Vignesh.
Vignesh equals of st dot std name. What is the st dot std name?
Vignesh.
Vignesh.
Vignesh. Both are same or not?
Same, sir.
What is the value here? We will see after evaluated of the second condition.
True.
True or false?
True.
True, right? If both true, then if true and true means
Return
what is the
true.
value? True.
Will be executed. True.
Come on. Okay. True and true means true. See
True.
that logical table already we discussed, guys. All these operators.
Yes.
True and true means true. Now, if true means okay. Now we are entering into if block.
If block.
Now what in the if block? What we have written? Just
True.
return.
True. Return true.
So that's what here. What is the output? True.
True.
Okay. Now see system.out.println of st1 equals of st4. st1 and st4 pointing to which object? Same object.
Same student object.
So definitely
True.
here obj instance of student. True or false? True.
True.
Right? st4 which type of object it is? Student type only,
Student
right?
type. Yes.
That's why true. So now std also and st.std also same.
True.
And std name equals of st.std name also true.
True.
So that's what here also what is the output we will see? True.
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 Now see in this case. Now system.out.println of st1 equals of Santosh. Right? So while calling equals method, so what is the argument value I am passing?
String.
String type I am passing. Right? Now object obj holding which type of object?
Student.
String type of object, not student type. Shweta. What is the object type here? Santosh
String
means
type.
string
String
type.
type.
String type.
That object obj is holding what? String type
String
of
type.
object. Now obj instance of student.
False.
Obj instance of student. What is the output here?
False.
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 Right?
False.
So now
Yes.
obj, what is the obj type here? String type.
String
So
type.
now I'm trying to compare what? String with
Student.
student.
Student type.
Okay, now
False,
both
sir.
are different types. So that's what instance operator will give you false. So false means this if block won't execute. Right? Now control directly coming out of this if block. What is the
Return
next statement
false.
we have written directly? Return false.
Return false.
So that's what here. What is the output we will see? False.
False.
So
False.
there is no scope of raising what? Class cast exception. Right? If you allow inside into this if block, then here we may get what? Class cast exception
Yes, sir.
in this line. Because here itself we are preventing that one. If both objects are same type, then only we are allowing into inside. If both objects are different types, then we are not allowing into inside.
If block.
Understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So directly it will come to here the control.
False.
Here we are passing what? False. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now see this statement. System.out.println of st1 equals of null. So now obj holding what? Null value. So now obj null instance of student. True
False.
or false? False.
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 Right? How can you compare null value with student? So definitely instance of operator will give you what? False.
False.
Okay? Go and revise this instance of operator.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you notice
Yes,
how
Yes,
much
sir.
importance of operators now?
Yes.
sir.
No. So this one, if this if block, right? What it will give you? False.
False.
So false means it won't allow us to enter
If
into this
block.
if block directly. This statement will
Return
Return
execute.
false.
Here we are returning false. What is the output now? False.
False.
Let me execute. Run as Java application. See, false, true, true, false, false. So that is the output we have written, right?
Yes, sir.
Come on, guys. See, false, true, true, false, true, false. So here also same. False, true, true, false, false. Clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Another simplified version of equals method. Implementation. Okay? Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay? No. So now, yes, this is one more simplified version. Okay? Now, so
Sir, my voice
we
break
can
out,
write.
sir.
Is it?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we can write so we can make this above this equals method more efficient, guys. So how to write, you know? So now here here let me check one more if, right? If obj double equal to this, Okay. If obj double is equal to this, return true. Okay. If you write this statement, then the sequence method will be more efficient. Why you
Sir,
know?
my voice break out, sir, మళ్ళీ.
Is everyone is facing the same issue or only Sweta?
Break
Sir,
అవుతుంది సార్.
everyone.
Huh?
Everyone, sir.
Everyone sir.
Not sure, guys. Maybe it's issue with my Wi-Fi. Okay, you should bear with me. Okay, fine. Right?
No, okay, sir.
So now, see here. In the third case, see here in the last case, st4 is equal to st1, right? So now, in this case, system.out.print st1 dot equals of st4. Here, what we are doing now? Again, see, if you are not writing this statement, so what will happen? Again, we are checking this obj is instance of student type or not. Okay, because obviously already we know this st4 and st1 pointing to same object. Come on, this st4 and st1
Yeah,
pointing
Yes,
to same object. So
same,
even
same
though
object.
if you are not writing this above selected one, we are checking obj instance of student type. After that, we are typecasting to student, and again we are checking stdid double is equal to st.stdid and std name equals of st.std name. Then we are coming to okay conclusion. Yes, return true. So unnecessarily we are checking all these statements, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
In the fourth, I mean here in this case, because here st1 and st4 both are
Yes.
same object. See,
Yes, sir.
st4 and st1 pointing to same object. So now if you write the above statement like this, see here, if obj double is equal to this, here obj means what? st4, right? So now st4 double is equal to this. This means what? Current class object. So now both are same or not? Here double is equal to operator means what? For which purpose we will use double is equal to operator? For reference comparison. Come on, yesterday we discussed,
Yes
guys.
sir.
W is equal to operator we will use for what? Reference
Reference
Let's
comparison.
compare.
Now, what is the reference of this obj? I mean, here obj means what? st4, right? Obj is pointing to st4 object. So now st4 object reference where I mean, what do you call it? At unique number, unique reference number, and this means what? Current class object, st1. So both are same or different?
Same.
same.
Same, because st4 and st1 pointing to same object. So in Java, for every Java object we have what? Unique reference number, right? So now st4 and st1, these two reference variables pointing to same object. So that object contains what? Only one unique reference number. So that's why st4 and st1 pointing to same unique reference number. So if you use obj w is equal to this means always it will give you true only. Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Right. So now here itself I am returning true. I no need to compare all these things. Okay. Obviously, the equals method will have more efficient or not.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. So that's what. If you add this one, so your equals method will be more efficient, guys. Okay. So this is the final conclusion of equals method. Let me add this one.
Okay, sir.
We add more efficient equals method, we need to add below code snippet. Okay. Right.
Yes, sir.
Clear now?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
How to override equals method?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Yes,
So
sir.
now, yeah. So now, yeah, no. Right. Now I'm giving one more example, guys. You please tell me. See here example. What is the example I'm now? String S1 is equal to new string of, okay, Santosh. Now string S2 is equal to new string of same Santosh. Okay. Now here I'm writing system.out.println of, okay, S1, sorry, S1 double is equal to S2. Now system.out.println of S1 equals of S2. Okay, this is one example. Now let me use this area for another example. So now in this example, string buffer SB1 equals to new string buffer Santosh. Okay, now let me copy this one. I need to type. Now SB2. Let me copy the, okay, cannot copy it. Oh, no. So system.out.println of SB1 double is equal to SB2. Now system.out.println of SB1 equals of SB2. Tell me what is the output, guys, here? The first one, the first section here. Tell me, guys, what is the output here? The first example, left side example.
It is comparing reference, but
First one is false. Second
one is false.
true. Second
Second
one
one
is
is true,
true.
sir.
Second one is true, right?
Yes.
1 minute. So now tell me, guys. Triveni or some other one. Here, why
Yes,
first
sir.
one is
False and
false,
true,
the
sir.
second one is true?
first
Understand?
approach
First one
it
is
is checking
false?
for the
comparison,
reference.
sir. It is comparing.
So now here string object, I am creating two different objects. This is one object, this is one more object. For every Java object, JVM will create what? Unique reference number. So
Reference
this
number.
object has in some different unique reference number. This object also have some other different unique reference number, right? Now I'm trying to compare what? This S1 object and S2 object by using what? Double is equal to
Double
operator.
equals to.
I'm trying to compare these two objects. When you use double is equal to operator, internally it will compare what? Reference number of this
Reference.
object and reference number of this object. Obviously, these two are two different objects. Obviously, these two objects have two different reference numbers. So obviously, if you use this S1 double is equal to S2, it will written what? False. Because these two objects reference numbers will be different.
Different.
Now coming to here, S1 dot equals of S2. So what is the S1 here? What is the S1 object?
String
What is the
object.
type of
String
S1
object.
object?
String object.
String object.
Now here S2 is what?
String object.
One more string
String
object.
object. So now we are calling equals method. Which equals method we are calling? In which class
String
equals method we are
String.
calling? String class equals method we are calling. Right? How the string class equals method has been implemented?
Content
Comparing
comparison.
content.
Content comparison. So now if these two objects having same content, then it will return true. If the two objects having different content, then
It
It
will
will
return
return false.
false.
So now obviously what is the S1 object content here? Santosh.
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 What is the S2 object content here? Santosh.
Santosh.
So now both contents are same or different?
Same.
Same.
Same. So that's
Same.
what it will return what? True.
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 Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, clear.
Now coming to the second one. Tell me what is the output here?
False.
Hmm?
False.
False, sir.
False. Second one?
Same.
First one is true, second one is true.
Both are true, sir.
Both are true.
One is
Both are true.
false.
False and
Come on,
true, sir.
guys.
Both are true.
Both are true.
Second one is true, sir.
Yeah, play, guys. Please think and tell. So apply the knowledge what you acquired so far. Here I'm not asking something different new, right? So here what I'm doing, I don't know why you guys are telling true.
False, sir. First
String
one.
buffer SB1 is equal to new string buffer. What I'm doing now? In this first
Yes,
statement, what I'm doing? What I'm
Creating
doing, guys?
SB1 object
I created one object.
Yes.
and
In this
your
way, I created one
parameter
object.
is SB1 with
Okay.
Santosh.
So for this object, what is the reference variable?
SB1.
SB1. In Java, for every object have what?
Unique
Unique
ID.
reference number. Let's assume this is the reference number. 1001 is the reference number for this one. The second line, what I'm doing? I created one more object. Right? See,
Yes,
the
sir.
second line, SB2 object I created.
Yes, sir.
Now, what is the reference variable it is pointing? SB2.
1002.
Right? For every Java object, definitely JVM will have what? Will create what? Unique reference number.
ID.
So definitely for this object also we have what? Some
10.
unique reference number. Let's assume 1002. Okay?
Yes, sir.
In Java, two objects doesn't have any same reference numbers, guys. Okay? In Java, any two Java objects doesn't have same reference numbers. JVM
Yes,
will
sir.
create what? Independent unique reference number for every Java object. No, SB1 having some reference number, SB2 also having some other reference number. Now I'm trying to compare SB1 W is equal to SB2. String buffer object first do, string buffer object 2. Now what is the output here? W is equal to operator internally. What it will verify? How it will compare? By using reference number of that object. So obviously these reference number both are different. So that's what is the output here we will see. False.
False.
Why you guys are saying true, I don't know. No. Tell me the second one. What is the output here?
True, sir.
Huh? True or false?
True, sir.
Why true?
It will check the string buffer.
Huh?
Sorry, sir. It will check the
Only.
content, sir.
String buffer compares the content. No?
String buffer.
Equals method, string equals method. It will check the content. So
now I told you in string class, the Java people implemented, override equals method for content comparison. So that's why if you use equals method for string, so if the two objects having same content, it will return true.
yes, sir.
Okay. So that's I agree. Now this is what? String buffer object.
Buffer.
So as I told you, string buffer object also, okay, string buffer class also has been implemented, has been overridden this equals method for content comparison.
No.
No.
Then how you guys
So
can
false.
say SB1
Yes.
equals of SB2 returns true?
False.
So string buffer class has been implemented this equals method for content comparison, guys?
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
No. Okay. In string buffer class, okay, so they did not override this equals method for content comparison. Okay. If string buffer class doesn't have equals method, then which class equals method will be executed in this scenario?
Object.
Object class.
Object class equals method will be executed. Now you guys tell me in the object class equals method, how they implemented?
Reference comparison.
Reference comparison.
Reference comparison. Now SB1 and
Both are
SB2
different.
having two different reference numbers or same reference numbers?
Different numbers.
Reference numbers. That's what is the output here?
False.
False. Okay. So very important interview question. Without asking this question, there is no fresher interview. Understand?
Okay.
That's
sir.
much important. Okay? No. Let me write that point. In string class, equals method has been implemented for content comparison. Okay? Content comparison. RISON, right? Content comparison. Okay? So hence, even though objects are different, dot equals method, okay, dot equals method return true, okay, return true if the content is same. The content is same. Am I right?
Yeah, fine.
In class, guys. Okay. Now come to here. Why it is returning false now? Tell me. Already we
Both
discussed, right?
reference IDs are
String buffer
different.
class. Okay, in string buffer class, dot equals
Equals method.
Okay, dot equals method. Here there is a parameter, guys. Okay. So now dot equals method is not overridden. Okay, not overridden for what? Content comparison. Okay. RISON. Not overridden for content comparison. Hence, object class equals method will be executed, right? What will happen if you are not override equals method means? Obviously, object class equals method will be executed. Object class equals method will be executed. Okay, and which is meant for what? Reference comparison. Reference comparison. Okay, come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, sir.
No. Right. So now, due to this, what will happen? So due to this, if objects are different, dot equals method return false, right? Even though content is same. Due to this, if objects are
different,
okay, dot equals method will return
false.
false even though
Content
content is
is same.
same for objects.
Yes, sir.
Right? Hope you people clear.
Yes, sir.
Okay? Right. Okay. Now. Okay. Now we will see what is the comparison between double is equal to operator and dot equals method. Okay? Compare between or contract between anything. But okay, compare or comparison. Comparison between double is equal to operator and
Equals
dot equals
operator.
method. Dot equals method. Okay, fine. You will see. What is the comparison between double is equal to operator and dot equals method? Okay, no. Let me write the first case. Okay, no. If two objects are equal by double is equal to operator. Understand what is my first case? If two
Yes, sir.
objects are equal by double is equal to operator, then these objects.
True.
Then what about dot equals method? Understand? Tell me. See, if two objects are equal by double is equal to operator. Okay. So here guys, let's assume R1. R1 is one object. R1 double is equal to R2 true. If both objects are true, equal by double is equal to operator. If true, then what about this scenario? I'm asking. Then R1 dot equals of R2. I'm asking this scenario. Understand?
That will also be true, sir.
Okay.
True, sir.
So definitely R1 double is equal to R2 means what, guys?
Both the
True.
Both
Same
same
Both
content.
objects reference number
same
same.
Yes, sir.
Right? Reference
Yes, sir.
comparison, reference number same. I
Same.
mean, reference number same means
the content will
R1
be
reference
same.
variable also pointing same object and R2 reference variable also pointing same
Same
object.
object. Yes, sir.
Understand? Mean
Yes, sir.
like this, guys. R1 object also pointing same and R2 objects also point, sorry. So this is the object, right? No,
Yes,
R1. Reference variable R1 also pointing
same.
Same object.
same and R2 also pointing
Same object.
same object. Both are representing the same object. So obviously in Java, okay, every Java object JVM will create what? Unique reference number. Let's assume this is the reference number. So now for R1 also 10001 is the reference number. For R2 also 10001 is the reference number. So now R1 and R2 both are same or different? Same.
Same.
Come on. No. So now, if two objects are equal by W is equal to operator, then these objects, okay, let me write now. Okay, I want to provide generalized statement, guys. Then okay, then what will happen now? These objects are always, okay, always equal by what? Dot equals method. Also clear? Clear, guys?
Yeah, okay, clear.
See, if two objects are equal by W is equal to operator, then these objects are always equal by dot equals method also. Okay, what does it mean? If two objects, okay, if are equal by using W is equal to operator, then if you apply dot equals method between these two objects, always it will return true.
True.
Because both are same.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
See,
Yes.
two reference variable pointing same object means obviously this object only one object we have. But for this
Yes.
object we have two reference variables. Now I am trying to compare these two reference variables. So this object only one object we have means that object has what? Only one copy of data. Obviously the same copy of data, this R1 reference variable also pointing, R2 reference variable also pointing. So content of data also same, right? For R1 and R2.
Yes, sir.
Come on. So this is what, guys? Generalized statement. Okay. If two objects are equal by W is equal to operator, then these objects are always equal by dot equals method also. That's what R1 W is equal to R2 true. Let me write. If R1 W is equal to R2 is true, then R1 dot equals of R2 is always true. Clear the statement? Come on.
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
Okay. Now the second case. Okay. What is the second case now? Now, if see R1 double is equal to R2. Okay. If for R1 double is equal to R2, return false, guys. Return false. Then what about R1 dot equals of R2, guys?
False.
May or may not false, sir.
Yes. Right? If R1 W is equal to R2, return false. Return false means what? R1 having different reference number, R2 having different reference number. Means here R1 is separate object, R2 is separate object. Here we have two objects. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
Now, obviously, if you try to compare two different objects by using W is equal to operator means always we will get what? False. Right? Now, if you get false by using W is equal to operator, then if you apply dot equals method for these two objects, what would be the output?
May or may not false, sir.
Yes, may or may not false. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. So now, then R1 dot equals R2. Okay? May return true or return false.
False.
May return.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Clear, right? Having any doubt here?
No.
See, let's
No.
suppose
No, sir.
R1 object. Okay, string R1 is equal to new string of Ignis. Right? Now, string R2 is equal to new string of Sai Teja. Now, R1 double is equal to R2 returns what? False. Right? Because two different objects. Now, I'm trying to compare R1 dot equals of R2. What is the output in this case? One is Vignesh, another one is Sai Teja.
Sai Teja, false.
Both are different content wise. So obviously it will written what? False.
False.
Right? Let's assume string R1 is equal to new string of Ignesh. String R2 is equal to new string of Ignesh. Now in this case, dot equals method returns what? True or false?
True, sir.
True. So that's what. Okay. If R1 double is equal to R2 return false means then R1 dot equals of R2 may return true or return false.
Depends on content.
Okay. Clear now?
Yes, sir. Clear, sir.
What about remaining people, guys? I'm asking everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, clear.
No. The second case, the third case. No. Now, if R1 dot equals of R2. Okay. If R1 dot equals of R2 returns true. Clear?
Yes, sir.
If R1 dot equals of R2 return true, then what about R1 double is equal to R2, guys?
True or false?
It is also may or may not true, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now return true, then R1 double is equal to R2 may or
May not.
may not return true, or else may return true or false.
False.
The third case also clear, everyone?
Yes,
Having
sir.
any
Yeah,
doubt?
clear.
Yes, sir.
No doubt.
Yeah. No. The fourth case. No. If R1 dot equals of R2 return false, then what about R1 double is equal to R2, guys? What about the result of R1 double is equal to R2 in this case?
Definitely false, sir.
Be
Definitely false, sir.
maybe returns true or false.
Maybe return true or false, huh?
No, sir. False. If the both are different, it is referring to different objects only.
Obviously. Okay. So always it will written what?
False.
Always it
False.
written what? False only. Because here R1 equals of R2. When it will written false? If two objects content are different. Come on. When the equals method written false, guys. If two objects content as different, so then only this equals method will written false.
Yes,
Now
sir.
R1 object content is different, R2 object content is different. If
Yes, sir.
both objects content is different means obviously these two objects are what? Two
Both
different
All
objects.
two different
Yes, sir.
So two
references.
different objects contains always what? Two different unique reference number. So now when you
Yes.
try to compare R1 W is equal to R2, it is always written what? False
False.
only.
False.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. So this is what, guys, comparison or contract between W is equal to operator and dot equals method. Definitely interviewer will ask you guys. Okay. So like this also, interviewer will ask you. They're trying to confuse you. They're trying to, okay, what do you call, check the complete knowledge of this w is equal to operand dot equals method. They want to check. Okay. So like this also people may ask you guys. Okay. They're
Yes, sir.
trying to check your complete knowledge on the w is equal to operand dot equals method. So like that the people may ask you. So here, so if r1 w is equal to r2 means what about r1 dot equals r of r2? Okay, like that people may ask you. They will ask first, what is the difference between w is equal to operator and dot equals method? And tell me, what is the difference between w is equal to operator and dot equals method, guys?
Double equal to will check the reference numbers.
Okay.
Whereas dot equals to will check the content
Content.
of the object.
Okay. Before that, let me write one example. Okay, then I will ask you. Okay, now. I'm writing one example, guys, here. Okay, now. Okay, string s1 is equal to new string of Santosh. Okay, now string s2 is equal to new string of Santosh. Already we have written this code. Okay, now string buffer sb1 is equal to new string buffer of Vignesh. Now another object. String buffer sb2 is equal to new string buffer. Okay, Vignesh. Okay, fine. Now, okay, now system.out.println of s1 w is equal to s2. Okay, another one. System.out.println of s1 dot equals of s2. Okay, the third one. System.out.println of sb1 w is equal to sb2. Okay, now system.out.println of sb1, okay, dot equals of sb2. Okay, now see. Yes, system.out.println of s1 w is equal to sb1. System.out.println of s1 dot equals of sb1. And tell me what is the output, guys, here in this example.
First one is
False.
false.
First one
Second
is
one
false.
Second one is true.
true.
First one is false. Yes, obviously correct. The second one,
True.
True.
true. Yes, you are correct.
False.
Third one false.
Third one false. Yes.
Next one also false.
False.
Next one also false. Yes.
Next one also false.
False. S1 W is equal to SB1.
False.
False. What about the last one? What about the last one?
False.
False. False.
Yes,
Right?
false.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All you are lost. Okay? All you are failed the examination. If I provide only this example. What
We'll
I
get an error, sir, since
W is
underlying
equal to
object is string
operator.
buffer.
So W is equal to operator. So did we complete this W is equal to operator in the operators class? Go and revise the content. What I told you, W is equal to operator by that time. How it will work? Okay, W is equal to operator, we can use if you try to apply W is equal to operator between two objects, definitely these two objects should have some relation, either same type or else parent-child type, parent-child relation. Otherwise, we will get what? Compile time error, incompatible types. How can we compare one type of object to another type of object, guys? Understand?
Yes, sir.
W is equal to operator we will use, okay, between two objects. If these two objects either can be same type or can be have some relationship between these two. By that time only we can use W is equal to operator. If you are trying to use this W is equal to operator any other types between, you will get compile time error saying incompatible types. I think already yesterday we discussed. Right. What is the problem you guys having? Because you guys are not revising the content. That is the problem. It's up to you. So no, compile time error. What is the compile time error, guys? Incompatible type.
Incompatible types.
Okay, incompatible type. Okay, incompatible type. What about this one, guys?
False.
Comparable, guys, not incomparable. Okay. Incomparable type. Tell me, what is the output here?
We'll get an error.
False.
False or error?
Error, sir.
Why error?
S1 is holding string and SB1 is holding the string buffer. Both are different objects. Normally, for strings, we'll use content comparison. But here we are having two different objects.
Then
No, actually equals లో ఆర్గ్యుమెంట్స్ చెక్ చేస్తుంది కదా సార్, అందుకని ఫాల్స్.
you tell me what is the answer. Equals method. See, I think just now we completed equals method, right? Now, how we are handling if you pass two
False,
different
sir.
objects here? How we are handling if you pass two different objects? So here itself we are checking, right? If
Yes,
OBJ
sir.
instance
Object
of
compare.
that type. If you are passed two different objects means it will check here.
Returning
The same
false.
object type or two different object type. If same object type, then only it will allow us to it will allow us to inside,
If
or
block.
else it will throw. It will return false.
False.
Okay. Lavanya,
Sir,
understand?
yes, sir. If we are
Just now
handling
we
exception,
saw,
then
right?
false.
Just
Sir.
now.
If we are handling that exception, then it would be false. Sir.
No, that is the way
Yeah.
we have to implement equals method. Already
Mm.
we know how to implement equals method. We know
Mm.
that part
Yes.
is completed.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, sir.
so now here, what is output?
False.
Okay, false is the output. See, if I ask this kind of questions, no one is telling proper answer. Why? Because you guys are not revising the whole topics what we have discussed. The primary things, the basics things you guys are not revising. That is the problem here. Okay? Now, okay guys. Now tell me, what is the difference between double is equal to operator and dot equals method, guys? Okay? We will see the difference between double is equal to operator and dot equals method. Okay, this is very, 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 very important. Difference between double is equal to operator and dot equals method. The first one is double is equal to operator. Okay, here dot equals method. Tell me guys, what are the difference? You should tell. Already we completed, right?
Yes, sir.
Very,
Yes,
very
sir.
డబుల్
important.
ఈక్వల్ టు ఆపరేటర్ లో
Definitely people will ask.
రిఫరెన్స్ రిఫరెన్స్
Hmm?
ని కంపేర్ చేస్తాం సార్.
If you say like this, okay, enter will ask you go out first. You have to tell the proper sentence. Double is equal to operator can be used for both primitives and objects or only for primitives?
ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ప్రిమిటివ్స్.
Huh?
బోత్
Is an
సార్, ప్రిమిటివ్స్ అండ్
operator
ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్.
Both.
applicable for, right, both primitive
ప్రిమిటివ్స్ అండ్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్.
objects. Okay, that is the first point. Now this equals method.
ఓన్లీ ఫర్ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్.
It is a method. Okay, it is a method, right?
ఎస్ సార్.
That equals
విచ్
means
ఇస్
what?
అప్లికబుల్
Method.
ఫర్ ఓన్లీ ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్.
Applicable only for what types?
ఆబ్జెక్ట్స్.
Object types, but not for
ప్రిమిటివ్ టైప్.
primitives. This is the first difference. Okay, clear everyone, the first difference?
ఎస్ సార్. ఎస్ సార్.
Now tell me, what is the second difference?
నో నీడ్ ఆఫ్
In case of
ఓవర్రైడింగ్.
object, in case of object reference, in case of object references, okay, double is equal to operator meant for what? Reference comparison. Meant for reference comparison. Am I right?
ఎస్ సార్.
In case of object references, double is equal to operator meant for what? Reference comparison. Come on guys, if you provide two objects, that
Yes.
means if you put double is equal to operator means what it will do? It will compare these two
Reference
object reference.
comparison.
Here,
కంటెంట్ కంపారిజన్.
if you tell me, by default equals method present in object class also meant for what? Huh?
Reference comparison.
Reference comparison, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The default method, okay, what is the default method? Equals present in object class, also meant for reference comparison.
Reference.
Come on, guys.
Yes, sir.
Now, if you are not override, then obviously object class equals method only it will be invoked, right? That is the default method.
Yes, sir.
No. So W is equal to operator. So is it possible to override W is equal to operator for content comparison, guys?
No, sir.
No. No. It is not possible to override.
Content
Okay. W is
comparison.
equal to operator
For content
for
comparison.
content comparison. Okay. But in this case, come on. Here
We can override equals
it is
method.
possible.
Override.
It is possible to override
To
what?
override the equals method for content comparison.
Equals method for
Content
comparison.
comparison.
Clear?
Yes, sir.
What is the next point? What is the next point, guys? Then we will get compile time error. If there is no relation, right, between two argument types, right? If there is no relation between argument types, then we will get what? Not two, just arguments.
Objects.
If there is no relation between argument types, then we will get compile time error. Okay, compile time error saying what?
Incomparable.
Incomparable types. Okay, but in this case, if there is no relation between argument types,
Simply it will return false.
right? Types, we won't get
Any
any
compile time error. Any
compile time error or
simply
runtime error.
runtime error.
Okay. Equals method simply returns what?
False. False.
False. Okay. Right. We completely completed, okay, equals method, guys. W is equal to operator and dot equals method. Okay. Hope you people understood today class. Have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay. So now we will continue the remaining topic tomorrow, guys. Thank you all.